All right. Welcome to the Antidote Show. Thank you for tuning in. Man, we are here at the Life Church with Bishop Sherman Scott. What's up, Bishop?
Hey, I'm glad that you guys are here. I am on the Christian Oprah show of gospel.
The paper. Oh, thank you, Bishop. I just, it's a lot going on. We are in the house. We are in the house of God. I was glad when they said unto me, let's go into the house of the Lord. I was so excited when Bishop was like, yeah, Marshall, bring the Antidote show on in here. And we are in here live tonight. You know, we on CP time. Some people are, but my show starts at 8. I don't care if it's one person in the audience, 2 people in the audience. It don't matter because we got an audience of 1, and that's Jesus Christ. So we got information that we have to get out to the people about Black Cobb, man. Bishop got some interesting information for us.
Yes.
First, I need to let Bishop introduce himself formally and let everyone know exactly where we are and what's really going on at the Life Church.
Yes, so I am Dr. Sherman Scott. I happen to pastor a great church in the Atlanta area, right here in Marietta, Cobb County. As far as I'm concerned, the best county in Georgia, right at 1839 Powder Springs Road. Do yourself a favor. Don't just hear about us online or whatever. Come out and visit us. 9 o'clock is our super express service. It's 59 minutes. Michelle has been there. It's 59 minutes. And then the 11 o'clock is our second service. So come out to our 9 or 11 o'clock. We'll be happy to have you with us.
Listen, they come in, they do what they got to do. They give that word and they keep it moving. And that's the way I like it. Give me the word. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for all that extra. It's good to have the dessert, the praise, most definitely. But I need some meat and potatoes. I'm a big girl. Y'all know. Don't get mad at me. It's real talk. All right. So I see y'all on YouTube. Can you push that mirror that back? No, just a bit. Yeah, just a little bit because I got people in Vegas. I got people in Jamaica. I got people in Louisville, Kentucky. I got Timothy Moore. I see you. I still ain't figured out all this Facebook thing, but I got it coming. It's coming, so don't worry about the captions. Just know you captioning me today, okay? All right. So we can ready to get started with this because we only have an hour. We'll probably the audience will probably fill up by the time we finish. But like I said, I'm on God's time, not everybody else's time. When I say 8 o'clock and he say 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. When he call you home, he gonna call you home on that hour. He ain't gonna be late. Don't be mad now. All right, so Bishop. This is an awesome week you got going on here.
Yes.
I was so excited when you're talking about Black Cobb and all that. You need to tell the people because they've seen that out on my page. Black Cobb. What does Black Cobb actually mean?
Yeah, so it's the state of Black Cobb, and it's an organization. It's called the Cobb Ministerial Alliance, which is a newly formed ministerial alliance of several different churches and pastors that pastor throughout the entire county of Cobb. From every single city in Cobb, there is a pastor that's represented. There's Methodist, there's Baptist, there's Pentecostal, there's non-denominational. We're coming together and we're concerned with one thing. Our parishioners, when it pertains to education, when it pertains to economic development, social justice, we have come together, organized ourselves, incorporated ourselves, so we can be the moral compass for those that are elected or appointed in office.
Yes, and most definitely, with that being said, vote.
Yes,
we can't do nothing. We can't do anything unless we make our voice known and vote.
Absolutely.
You know, Bishop, that is so important today.
Yes.
And I think I would ask you to talk to our brothers. I'm talking to my sister.
Sure.
You talk to my brothers as important of them standing as the head.
Yes.
And doing what they're supposed to do as a man.
Yeah, we have to go beyond just talking about issues in the barber shop. We got to go beyond from talking about issues on the corner, and we must vote. Don't believe the lie that your vote doesn't matter. Your vote matters. And locally, I would say even more important than on the national, but we want to make sure that we vote in every election. First of all, it costs our ancestors too much for us not to vote. When you look back on the footage of Bloody Sunday, when you look back at the footage of our ancestors, our loved ones being water holes, a dog sick on them. Listen, to not vote is an injustice to the legacy upon which we stand today. So, my brother, please register to vote. If you've been incarcerated, listen, don't believe the lie that you lost your right to vote. You can get your right to vote again. If you're a felon, you can get your right to vote. And certainly, if you haven't been to prison at all, you should be voting. So, every male, you need to vote. And one of the elections that's very important that people don't know that they have an opportunity to have a voice in is that with the judges. It's like you vote for judges. And I think in Cobb County, we don't have any African American representation in the Superior Court system.
That's right.
And so we want to make sure that we change that in the near future by exercising our right to vote.
Right. And then, ladies, we can't do it in the beauty shop now. Y'all know I know. Y'all know I'm stylist for a long time. And y'all talk about voting and y'all talk about this and y'all talking about changing our community and how we can get our children better. We have to be also praying and making sure not only our husbands vote and our brothers vote and do what they're supposed to do. We as women, we gotta tarry in the spirit. We gotta war in the spirit and be praying for them as they go out as the head. All right, sisters. So we got to get it together too. There's a part we have to play, and it's a part our brothers have to play. And we try to put it all on one, but it's not a one-man thing. It's together. We have to come united for these things to take place, and most definitely by voting.
Absolutely.
All right. So if you're not registered to vote and you need to register to vote, hey, contact the Antidote Show. I will make sure you get there, but I'm sure you go on vote.com or something like that, Bishop.
Yeah, I mean, there on Thursday night there'll be organizations here that'll help you register to vote. And while we're on that, perhaps if you lost your identification, don't have a birth certificate, there are organizations that can help you receive the right to vote. The only thing you need to do is get here on Thursday night for the state of Cobb.
Yes, get here on Thursday. I'll be here on Thursday night. Y'all know y'all gonna see me because I'm in charge of my own destiny now. And you'll catch that on the ride home. I'll tell y'all about that later. But when you're in control of your destiny, you can go where you want to go. All right. So I will be here on Thursday night. I tell all my girls they're gonna have to get their hair done another night. Okay. So Bishop.
Yes.
Who makes up this? You say all the pastors. Is that all the pastors in Cobb now?
So every pastor. So the Cobb Ministerial Alliance, we have come together, and it is a representation of different walks of faith, denominations, of people that pastor predominantly Black African American churches.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we organize our voices so therefore we can be heard on behalf of our parishioners.
Okay, answer this. Some of the things that you guys work on, what are some of the things outside? You said housing. I know housing most definitely because they've taken all the subsidized housing out of Cobb, moved just about everything to South Atlanta and trying to put us all in one area.
Right.
And now you can't even afford to live in Cobb unless you have a certain income.
Right. So you're absolutely correct in your assessment. They removed all of the public housing and was supposed to replace it with affordable housing. But the question comes, how does, if you remove public housing and you replace it with housing that starts at $400,000, how is that affordable?
Right.
And so therefore, those are the type of issues that we must look at instead of just putting everyone out towards, Six Flags area, just having everyone go over there and habitate. No, if you work in Cobb, if you've been here in Marietta, you should be able to afford to stay where you were. So we have people like Mike Murphy that's been working on affordable housing. Bishop Reginald Copeland, Councilman Reggie Copeland, who's been working on this issue that's near and dear to their hearts. And again, on Thursday night, they'll be addressing this very issue about affordable housing, where you can live on an income of even one person.
Right. And let me ask you more about housing because you were in real estate. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Most definitely. I thought that was one of your coins you get. But no, let me ask you. But weren't though when they did move them out like Hickory Lake and down on Lemon Street when they moved all those people out. But when they built up new because Windy Hill and Atlanta Road is beautiful.
Wonderful.
It's beautiful. Even where they moved on South
And
Top
we
Drive.
had people that lived there that attended our church that was affected by that.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to receive some finances.
That's what I was going to ask you.
And be able to get back in. But again, if you're having a hard time making ends meet in the housing development, how can you afford $300,000?
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask you. With some of those developments they built up, as far as like apartments or whatnot, weren't they supposed to have some subsidized? Some of those apartments should have been subsidized for people.
Well, the problem is they've taken them down and made them into houses. And so when you replace it like right on Lemon Street from the square, those are starting at like $400,000. So there's no way a person that's working on an income or a single parent is going to be able to afford that. Certainly, no one that was currently living there could afford to move back into that area.
Definitely. So, Bishop, will this be this event that you're going to have on Thursday? That we're having on Thursday. Will this be an annual event that they're going to?
Yes, and so what we're going to do, you've seen the State of Black America, and so what we're going to do, this is going to be the first annual State of Black Cobb, where we're going to be looking at issues as it pertains to African Americans in Cobb County.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one. What is CMA? Tell me about CMA.
Yeah, so the Cobb Ministerial Alliance.
Oh, that's what CMA is.
That's the CMA.
You should have spelled all that out.
That's the CMA.
Y'all know I'm on it now. I just want to make sure that we ain't changing something here. But it works in conjunction with the organization.
Yeah, so Cobb Ministerial Alliance, we work hand in hand with different African American institutions that's concerned. For instance, on Thursday night, it's just not spearheaded by Cobb Ministerial Alliance, but it's in conjunction with the Southern Christian, the SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Council, as well as the NAACP. This is a time for us not to be divisive, but this is a time when we come together. So we are coming together, all three of those organizations have great presidents in place, and so we want to come and align our interests and become a powerful force to speak on behalf of all of our constituents throughout Cobb County.
So, being that I'm not a pastor, but I might marry one, Jesus. But I'm just saying. But let me say, but can I be a member?
Yes, and so the beautiful thing about Cobb Ministerial Alliance is it's not just for pastors. There's a tier of pastors. Obviously, you have your board. Then there's pastors that can join. There's non-clergy that can join. There is where parishioners can just join, and then just a regular minister can join. So we want everyone to be a part of Cobb Ministerial Alliance because there's so much that we're getting ready to do in this upcoming year where we want people to be involved and to be a part of the change. And the great thing is we're not just talking about it.
We're being about it. We ain't got time to talk about nothing, y'all.
Talk is over. We're getting ready to do it.
Because I'm tired of meetings.
Yes.
I've been in so many meetings. I've been in meetings on the west side, the east side, north side, and south side. And that's why I started the Real Talk, Real Solution show, because I was tired of meetings.
Yes.
And that show is about, when as people come in the door, we put topics in.
Yes.
And as we talk about those topics, we go out and do something about it.
Yes.
So if it's homelessness, we go give somebody some homes, or, we make something happen.
Right.
So when you come to that show, you volunteer or you pay the price. So if you don't want to pay to get in, you're going to volunteer. That's how that works. Yeah. So let me ask you guys, since we on some coins, does it cost any coins to join this organization?
It does cost to join the CMA.
Because we black folk, we need to know that now.
Yeah. But there's great opportunities for it, and pretty soon they'll be able to go to on the website and be able to see. But currently they can go to Cobb Ministers. That's COBB ministers @gmail.com, and all the information that you need will be forwarded to you.
Request it.
But it's very affordable. And listen, the cost of change you're going to see
That's
the results
right.
of it.
That's right. But we count on being blessed in Cobb. So y'all better get it together. Y'all better know. So let me ask you this, Bishop. Being that we've been seeing some of the injustice,
Yes,
out here, we see how they've taken our homes and pushed us over in the corner, and even education. They don't even give us a great education. Being an educator, I've been able to look at it to where I'm at. I'm about to open my own school.
Yes.
Because I've seen how they set a lot of us up to fail.
Yes.
And then come back to pay again.
Yes.
And I thought that was just so unfair, and I just couldn't be a part of it.
Right.
So I pulled out of the, teaching at some of the local beauty colleges or whatnot. But why now? Why now? Why y'all tired of meeting too?
Yeah, and so I've always been. First of all, I grew up in the projects, so I mean, I was born and raised in Macon, Georgia, in the projects, 61H Tyndall Heights in Macon, Georgia, Bibb County. Then I went to Boston, Massachusetts, and so I've always been one that wanted to stand up for what's right. Always knew that we had to work twice as hard and never liked injustice. You tell me it can't be done, we're going to find a way to get it done.
That's right.
My grandmama taught me where there's a will, there's a way. And so why now? Because when we look and we see that although we have a great chief that's making some good improvements in the Cobb County force, we look at when an officer make a racial comment, he did a good job in firing him. Or he retired when he was about to be fired, right. But he retired with all of his police rights, which says that he can go any other place and get a job and work. And so we must address issues like that, where basically you're leaving one place because of the heat, but you're able and qualified to go to another place where he should have lost his police privileges and not able to go and get a job in another county or 3 counties over. There must be some type of uniform response, and we must hold them accountable. And if they're not held accountable, we must exercise our rights to vote and vote them out.
Yes. Y'all heard that? Go vote. Matter of fact, let me tell y'all, November 6th happens to be my birthday. So if you get the ballot and you vote for, your girl and them, and then you get past one you don't want to vote for, write my name in there. I'm on the ballot.
You need to get on the ballot and run for an office, and that's another thing.
Well, then don't hold your core. Hold on now.
There's a record number of women running for office this election cycle. And I will encourage, females not to just make it about this election cycle, but the next one and the next one and the next one thereafter. You're very powerful. Use your power.
I know that's right. Because y'all can vote for me, because I will write my name in there. So if you don't have anyone to vote for, I am still on the ballot, even though I really ain't running. They're going to work, trying to figure out who that lady, Marshall Brown, because we see her every year. Y'all know I got to keep it real. I got to say hey to all you guys. I see y'all out there, Marissa and Lynn and all you guys. I see you guys. But y'all know I got to keep it real, because I don't want to bore your patience at all. I want you to get this good information. So I got to keep you laughing. If I keep you laughing, I keep you on, right? That's what y'all told me. So tell me, Bishop, because I know you're a powerhouse. Let me tell y'all want to come to church with me, this is where I'm at, okay? Y'all always wondering, where's Marshall? This is where Marshall is. Come to the Life Church. No better place but the life. Because I ain't going to do nothing but speak life, all right? So I ain't got time for all that extra stuff. Come to the Life Church. They love you around here. They're going to treat you real good and everything. I promise you. And if they don't, holler at me. We got the antidote.
Right.
Holler at me. We got the antidote. So, Bishop, we still got about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Our singer didn't show up. The other person didn't show up. And some people stuck in traffic and they ain't showed up neither. But y'all know the show goes on. The food truck out there, since he parked, he been making money. So he ain't even worried. So somebody going to eat some ribs tonight. I got a couple at the house, I think, but hold on. Tell us about your social action background. So, because we need to know, we got Martin Luther King, and we got
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm glad that I was born in the 70s when I was born. So I don't know if I could have made it through the 60s.
Well, 69 wasn't bad now. 69 was a good year now.
That 60 is the problem. However, with social justice, I started getting involved organized-wise with the NAACP in Boston, Massachusetts, actually.
Okay.
That's where I was a religious affairs chairman. We did some great work in Boston, in the Boston area, and that's where the bug took a hold of me from an organization standpoint.
So let me ask you this: with the organization, can you let the people know that it's only one denomination with that? Is it one denomination, or what is that? With that
CMA?
Yeah.
No. It's multiple.
Multiple.
Yes, any
But
denomination.
serving one.
Well, we serve Jesus Christ.
Right, we just serving one.
Yeah, but
because people, this is the reason why I asked you that, because I've had several people say, "Oh, come and visit me. Oh, I'm Catholic. I don't go to," and I'm like, God is God. Come see. To get outside the four walls. You know what I'm saying? So some people don't want to receive other religions. That's why I was asking about the denomination, because some people, they're not open-minded enough, to meet people where they are. Who, if they be for us, who can be against us?
Well, as it pertains to CMA, Cobb Ministerial Alliance, we work with anyone that's interested in fairness of all people. Specifically, African Americans is our interest. The whole battle of Black Lives Matter versus Our Lives Matter, we already know White Lives Matter. And so we want to make sure that we shine a spotlight on issues that pertain specifically to African Americans, because that it gets swept under the carpet. And as far as other denominations and race, again, we work with anyone. However, we don't want to just have when one of our young men get killed. That's not the time we really want to sit down. And this may sound a little crass, but hold all the way, listen all the way through. That's not the time we want to be praying. That's not the time where we want our white brothers and sisters to tell us that we're one race and that we all should be praying. No, we need answers. That's the time we need answers. The time for us to come together as one race is prior to address the injustices that's going on towards all of our people. And so once we get on that page, then we can feel free to worship together. But let's not, when it gets a little heated, when we address the injustices, don't try to ignore the voice that needs to be amplified.
Right. Because I agree with you 100%. And I agree with you too, Lynn, on there, because you're right. All lives matter in the Lord. However, they have to be walking upright in it. They want to,
Yeah, but see, that's what we're saying. All lives matter, but you're not seeing any type of protest or injustice when it comes
to other race.
Let's look at today. Today, all lives matter, and rightfully so. Bill Cosby got sentenced to 3 to 10 years. Rightfully so. If he did it, he should be convicted, do his time, fine. We can't even get an inquiry on a judge, but we say we want fairness all across the board. Judge McFarland couldn't even get a hearing when President Obama was in office, not for anything that he's done or was accused of, simply because he was presented by Barack Obama. Now we want to cry injustice. That's the difference with all lives and Black lives. It's like it's a double standard. And so we must look at it and say, from an African American perspective, why couldn't the 44th president, why couldn't all of what's going through and holding up justice, if we needed a justice that bad, why couldn't that happen when he presented his candidate? We must look at those type of injustices and have equality. So therefore, all lives really will be mattering, and it would be equality instead of we have to look at the injustice.
Right. Because if we look at equality, it don't have a color. We got to do it right. You know, we have to treat everybody like they need to be treated equal. But we're not doing that, and that's why we have these different sides, and people we're trying to get our respect as everyone else gets their respect. We don't get the respect everyone else gets. Mm-hmm. So then we have to fight for it, and then when we raise our voice or blast our trumpet, then we wrong. Right. But that's not right.
And if you're talking about all lives matter too, and when you talk about that, I would say if there was real equality, white men will get paid more than black men, Hispanic men. There wouldn't be such a great difference in pay when it comes to African American women versus versus Caucasian women. Mm-hmm. There are injustices. Yeah. So for those that want to hashtag all lives matter, why don't you go and really make all lives matter? Make it matter in your offices, make it matter on your jobs, make it matter in your communities. Right now, I'm experiencing in my community something I never experienced before. And I lived in Boston when it was very segregated, where we had the bus rides and things of this nature. But I'm experiencing white flight right now in Cobb County. When one black moved into our subdivision, it was a very diverse subdivision, right. Very diverse community. However, as when one black moved in, 2 white houses went up for sale. Wow. When another black moved in, more houses went up for sale. It's like, wow. And I was so shocked. I remember driving home and telling my children, I can't believe this. I cannot believe what I'm experiencing, and it's white flight. We just got to look at it. We got to look at the facts.
Right. And you see it. You see it in the community. You can see it in the schools. The same thing in the school system. Yeah. They don't want to go to school in the same neighborhood as we do. They try to move out so they wouldn't have to go to school in the public school system even with us. So yeah, most definitely. I see that all around. Okay, Bishop, let me see. I got a few more questions.
Sure.
We had a singer. We just won't have somebody sing. But y'all want me to...
Don't sing yet, Shell.
Yes. I'm going to sing some songs to the Lord. Just hold on a minute. Wait till he helps me. Because right now he's not. So give us a little bit more information, Bishop, about some more of the things that you guys will be talking about outside of the housing and the injustices.
Yeah, so we're running the whole gamut when it comes to African Americans in Cobb. So we'll have the several different elected officials here. We've invited the police force to come as well. We're going to be talking about everything as it pertains to African Americans and what is it? How does it look? How do we look in Cobb? We want to hear what they see. And let me just say from the onset, we're not looking to be antagonistic. What we are looking to do, we want to celebrate anything that's good to celebrate. Again, I commend the chief, Mike Register. I think that he has come into Cobb County and have cleaned a lot of things up. He's promoted African Americans in the force, as Scott Hamilton is one of the guys that he promoted. We give him kudos there. We salute him. However, we must still look and say, okay, what work needs to be done? If you have a C on your report card or a B minus on your report card, how do we work and get that to an A? What do we need to do in order to become stellar? And I believe that we have made great strides in some areas in Cobb County. However, I believe there's a lot of things that we can look at that we need to be able to look at and have dialogue in order to get it to the next level.
So will this be like a forum?
It's going to be more like a question. Oh, yeah, you're going to be able to ask your questions. Okay. So there will be a presentation of facts. There will be questions answered. And what I have experienced with everyone that is coming that I know of, they love to communicate because there's dialogue. And, right. And even one of the things that I love that Chief Register have done, Cobb County Police Force, is he has what you call faith forums once a quarter, where he pulled everyone together that's from the faith community to be able to hear our voices. And so what we need to do is make sure that the faith leaders are there so their voices can be heard, because he certainly makes the platform available. We must take advantage of the platform to be able to dialogue, because it's unfair to just complain when a platform has been provided and we don't take advantage of it.
Right.
So again, that's one of the areas where we can certainly give Mike register praise for what he's done.
I know you were talking about something about as far as injustice, as far as you're talking about one. I think it was Sunday you were speaking about if you were going to court and attorney, what do you say, Judge Green, and you was telling me about.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know your different judges that you go before. And again, this is one of the areas where you have power to elect your judges, and they're judges that have ran unopposed, which means there was no one to go against them.
Gotcha.
And so therefore, there have been people that have tried to run in the past and just have not galvanized the type of support that they need, because we don't educate ourselves on the down ballot. Everyone knows about Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams. And so that's where their knowledge stops there. But when it comes down to who's running for the school board, which is going to affect your children's education, who's running for judge, which is going to affect you if you go Superior Court for any felony charges, or state court if you're going for any like misdemeanor or traffic charges. You vote for those offices too. And those offices really, really, really matter. So we need to know the candidates. This past Thursday at Mount Zion Baptist Church, there was a candidate forum. Now that church should have been packed with individuals to hear from each of the candidates that's running. All Republicans that was running was there, all Democrats that was running was there. And if they wasn't there physically, like Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams, they had a surrogate that was there that spoke on their behalf. One of the things that I've learned is one of the candidates that's running for lieutenant governor actually have a trucking company here in Cobb County, where she employs 2,500 or 3,500 employees. And here's the kicker that I learned on Thursday night, that she not only makes sure that each and every one of her employees have access to affordable health care, she pays their health care bill. Wow. So for the employee, for the spouse, and the children, they get free health care, and she's running for lieutenant governor. That's the type of stuff you want to know, because now you see that not only is she talking about it, not only is she showing you it can be done, and that the system can be, is not necessarily broken. You have a person that is doing it, and she's running for office and asking for your vote. And it's like, that's amazing.
That is. That's awesome. Because I'm about to be a truck driver.
I started to sign up to drive some trucks too. It's expensive healthcare, but she's doing it. But that's the type of stuff that where knowledge is power. And so we must be informed people and get this knowledge so we can make an informed decision. How many times, really, if you was to be honest, have you gone into the voting booth and voted for president, voted for your governor, and got down to your mayor? You sort of knew who that was, and then you just said, you looked for the D and for the R, didn't know who they were, and just punched in their names. We have to do better than that.
Yeah.
We have to be educated on who are we voting for, and not necessarily voting for any particular party straight down, because you got to be more involved with the issues, because perhaps you could be Republican and there's someone that Democratic that really stands for what you stand for,
right,
or vice versa. And so learning and being educated on the issue and not just being blindly aligned with any particular party.
Yeah, I think we get confused with that.
Yeah.
All black people want to vote for them. It shouldn't work like that. It should be the best man for the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
It should be the best man for the
woman.
job. Or woman. I approve this message. I would be on the ballot November 6th. It'll be a Tuesday too. We might do a rooftop. We may be doing a rooftop show. But if you're just tuning in, I'm here with Bishop Sherman Scott of the Life Church here in Powder Springs, and we are talking about Black Cobb. Now, if you have any questions, log me in because I tell y'all to call my number. Y'all never call my number, but then you call my number during the week, and guess who ain't gonna answer? Because the show went off at 9:00. I'm just kidding. But no, if you have any questions, go ahead. I see you, cousin, out of Michigan. I see you. If you have any questions for real, go ahead and tap into Bishop. Bishop, shout out some of your people over there.
Hey, we see a lot of you watching there on our TLC page, Trent, and all of you guys. Thanks for joining.
Okay, we had to get a little juice. We had to get a little life up here in the Life Church. We at the Life Church in Powder Springs. We, you know me, I'm gonna keep it going. Don't no monkey stop no show. My two best friends are in the audience of 30, 35 years. Don't even play. These are my people. And Kivante, my friend who was on the first show when we talked about Autism Speaks, and he gave a great show with the young people about autism. He is in the house. I miss you too, Lynn. He is in the house tonight. That's all we need. If we got the Lord, we don't need nobody else. He said, what's the lady's name he was speaking of to vote for?
Sarah. She's running for lieutenant governor. She's actually running with Stacey Abrams.
Okay, so her name is Sarah. I see you, Karen. So Sarah, so make sure, listen guys, the main thing of this whole show is get out and vote. That's the only way you're going to have a voice to have a voice.
Absolutely.
You know? That's the only way you're going to have a voice because we come out in record numbers. And remember, it's my birthday. We can go out and have some chips and dip afterwards. Just have your little peach thing on, and guess what? You can get in my show for free. It's already free. So come on out anyway. I'll tell y'all where I'm at. But listen, guys, I need y'all to come out and pack the house this week. Bishop is having a long week of services on Black Cobb. And who you got Friday?
Yeah, so it starts. Okay, so
well, it started with the Antidote because all this is the Antidote. So y'all better recognize.
Yeah, tonight is the night. We're here with. I'm calling Michelle the Oprah of gospel.
Hallelujah.
You got to come and sit with Michelle, right?
Yes.
And so we're starting tonight. Sitting here on the Antidote show, and then on tomorrow, we call this week Empower.
Empower.
Because as people, we need to be empowered.
That's right.
Empowered to make a change. So on Wednesday night, we have Overseer Stephen Sherrod, who is actually the Cobb County chaplain with the Cobb County Police Force. So he'll be here tomorrow night. And on Thursday, it is the State of Black Cobb. That starts at 7. On Wednesday night, it starts at 7:30. Black Cobb starts at 7. And then on Friday night, we have Marietta City Councilman, Bishop Reginald Copeland, be here on Friday night speaking at 7:30. And so it's going to be a week of great preaching, great teaching, as well as a great time to be empowered.
Yes. So come and get empowered. Now, I forgot and didn't really know that all Cobb County is out of school, so everybody in Florida somewhere. So if you're in Florida on Facebook, hit your friends up that's supposed to be in Cobb County at this show and hit them up and tell them we are at the Life Church being empowered. Okay? And they can come all week. Yes, we need to be empowered. I know you do. And that's why, most definitely with the Antidote show, I try to send out inspiration every day. Every day, because you never know when you're talking someone off the ledge. By one small word, one small quote, one small phrase can change somebody's life. And we have to get outside of the box, get outside of the four walls, and go speak and minister to somebody. When was the last time y'all went to a nursing home? When was the last time you stopped by a daycare center or anywhere that you know that people may need help? Just go volunteer. You know what I'm saying? We got all this time to Facebook, Snapface, and Snap whatever y'all doing, Instagramming and all that, but we don't take our time, most definitely for our seniors. You know, and we got to get out of this thing of complacency as a Black people. We got to get back into the Black Wall Street. Let me tell you, I am one about helping each other. I'm about helping each other, not laying next to the ladder, reaching my hand down like I'm acting like I'm gonna get you, and the ladder laying right there. Y'all gonna hear me say that a lot. No, we got a brother right outside right now. I networked with him to have a food truck out here to make sure even if you had a long day and you came out to the show, you can still feed your family. And he's reasonable. And that's how we do it. I'm not trying to browbeat him or beat him for anything. We're working together. We're working together. He's coming up. The church is being blessed, and the Antidote show is being blessed too. So we got to get it back into helping one another. Black Wall Street, man. My niece, she just did my T-shirt. I want you to see it because I want to shout her out, her business out. Her name is Jasmine. She's out of Florida. She did my T-shirts, and she got some more to come. And y'all be able to order these on the Antidote website. Hold on. If you was here tonight, you could get one. But sorry about your luck. But you know, I'm working with family. You know what I'm saying? I see family, they're doing this business. Why would I go outside of my family to hire somebody to pay them? My son, he does my graphics. I pay the graphics guy $25 a flyer. Why not pay my niece? She does amazing flyers. My niece makes my flyers. My niece makes my shirts. My son does my graphics. And he, you know, we got to keep it in our family. And then those that are close to us, bring them in too. But we got to do it together. And we got to do it with unity. We can't just do it and then think that somebody's gonna be able to understand that if we don't make our Black Lives Matter, ain't nobody else gonna care about our Black lives.
Right.
And we have to start in our own house. Worry about your house first. Right. And once you get your house together, then you can help somebody bring and transition their home. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it transparent. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it 100. But I was on a train this week. I went to see the Saints play with the Falcons. And you know, I'm a Saint, so you know I like the Saints. But I was with the Falcons. That's because I live in Atlanta, and there was too many of them on the bus to even fight with. Even though the Saints, and they should have been praying, but they prayed a little bit, and they still won the game in the overtime. But it was a very, very good game. But before I got to the game, Bishop, they on the train arguing about the game, and the game ain't even happened yet.
Wow.
But it wasn't even the fact that they was arguing about the game and the game didn't happen yet. They never paid attention to their surroundings. They didn't pay attention to what a fool they was making themselves look. And we want to fight and say Black Lives Matter, and we arguing about a game that they didn't even play yet. You know, and the train was full of all kind of people. And they're scared, nervous, and scared because they already done passed H.E. Holmes in the West End. So you know they're nervous and scared. They don't know what to do. And I'm like, come on, guys, are y'all kidding me? We fighting on a train about a game that hadn't even happened yet. Right. But you know it was real muted coming back.
Yeah. The Falcons had that effect.
It was real muted coming back. But I said out there to say, guys, we got to do better.
Yeah.
We got to do better. We robbing our own people. We killing our own people. We hurting our own people, and we want people to respect us. We got to start somewhere. And right with Black Cobb, that's where we starting at. Right here, right now, to empower you, to inspire you, to motivate you and uplift you all at the same time while we go out there and get them coins. Are you kidding me? It's enough to go around for everybody. I told y'all to get some of that cyber money too. I done brought the crypto man on here last week. Brian Stone, that's my guy now. Hey, listen, people are listening. People want to know the real. It's time out for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You want to hear it real? Come up, especially come on a Sunday. That's when I tell you, want to keep it real, you want to see a real hooper, come on a Sunday. And I promise you, you're going to leave real good and fed and real full. You ain't even going to want to go out. We ain't gonna need the food truck, Bishop, because y'all fill us up.
I think that one of the things, and not just because I pastor the Life Church, but one of the things I love about Life Church is, number one, we are contemporary. Our sanctuary is contemporary. However, we're looking to reach our brothers and sisters, and we're looking to touch and reach them right where they are.
That's right.
Our motto is, we're not a perfect church, but we will help you get better. And so, as people, my heart, what kind of person would I be as an African American from the projects? Not caring about my people. It's just like, so
I ain't from the project, but I still care
I
about
care. I think we've got to care about our people. We have got to be able to sit down and talk with them. And so I understand completely what you're saying with African American brothers or sisters or anyone on the train. It's like, my thing is, let me talk to them, let me rap with them. Because some have grown up without a father, but let me be that surrogate father. I can identify with you. And I think that's the reason why when we look at the Nation of Islam versus Christianity, and we see all of our brothers run into the nation, it's because the nation they do a great job identifying with where a brother's pain is. And so, well, we identify with the pain too. And so I think that we've got to be able to express that to them so there's a connection, because we do have the greatest antidote, which is Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And so with Jesus Christ being the answer and he is the solution, then therefore we must look and see how we translate and getting that to our brothers. And for a long period of time, we've made it so out of reach for them because we just shouted. We just danced. They didn't want to get with this shout and dance. You come into some churches, you got the flowers. And so the church was very feminized because when you came in, you can tell it's decorated. It wasn't conducive to receive brothers into the church. And so what we got to do is a better job reaching them. And so I say, hey, listen, come to the Life Church, male or female. Yes, I'm plugging it, 9 or 11. We're better with you than we are without you, and we'll grow with you. And so let's grow together.
Yes, and it's great because you know what's the great thing? Transparency.
Absolutely.
Transparency. And know that somebody else is going through the same thing you have. Now, if they want to tell it, that's one thing. But that's the whole thing with the antidote. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and our testimony. And I share my testimony with you guys a lot. I'm very transparent before you guys because I know that's going to draw you and that's going to pull you in. And I do it with love. And I know if you see that I'm not puffed up, because I think that's where they get it messed up, because they put so much into the pastor and they don't look into Christ. And they look for the pastor to solve their problems. So, pastor, I ain't got no food in the house. And and then when the pastor say, well, we don't have it to do, then everybody mad at you. But instead of them praying and believing God that he's going to make a way, and then he will show them the way because your steps are ordered, then it becomes much better.
Someone said, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. You teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. We like to take it a step further. We're not into giving man a fish, teaching them how to fish and eat for a day. We love teaching them how to fish, but taking it a step beyond that, teaching them about the fishing business, and generations behind him would never be broke. That's what we've got to do. We've got to look at, okay, behind the fishing business, there's the cannery, there is the wholesale, there's the trucking business. And so there's a whole enterprise beyond that. And so that's what we have to tap into. We have some of the greatest things. My daughter sent me a post. My daughter Genesis sent me a post the other day. And she said, Dad, we've been robbed. I said, what do you mean we've been robbed? She said, we've been robbed because, who was it? Heinz came out with mayonnaise and ketchup mixed together in a bottle. Now, she's been seeing me do that for the last 20 years. I said, see, that's the ingenious that we have in us, that we've been doing that for years, mixing ketchup and mayonnaise together. And now they took it and the bottle of it and it's selling off the shelves. And it's just like, we need some money.
That's right.
But we need to learn how to take those type of
inventions. We pray for them. And then we don't write them down.
And we
don't do nothing with them. And he gives them to us all the time.
Absolutely.
All the time. Absolutely. I was seeing I think it was it was something I saw, and I was like, I did that. I was gonna do that, but you wait too long, because you know what? If God gave it to you and you didn't do nothing with it, guess what He's gonna do? Give it to somebody else.
Right.
Because the job got to get done.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's the same way with pastors. God give them to you. You don't take care of it. He's going to give them to somebody else that's going to nurture them and take care of them. So we have to get in the right Bible speaking church. We got to get in the right church, folks. And don't come to, you the church. Do y'all know you the church? So you got to get your church together. Your church ain't right. How you going to be in a building? You know, to bring your unright self on in here, because come as you are, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you act, what you smoking, what you drinking. Come on.
Absolutely.
And let God do the work, because the word will do the work in your life.
Absolutely.
If you just apply a little bit. All you need is just a little scripture. All I knew for 20 years was no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It was on every business card, every flyer, and I stood on it and I believe that. Going through cancer, by his stripes I'm healed. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When I went back to the doctor, he was like, "Man, you don't have no cancer." I know I don't, because he said I don't. Hey, whose report I'm going to believe? Whose report are you going to believe? Are you going to get in your word? Are you going to start applying yourself so that you can be a better self? And remember, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, so get your mind right. Y'all know I'm going to keep it real. I know y'all get mad at me. I know somebody already said, call me after church. Okay. Okay. You know, I only got to answer the one, and that's Jesus, you know? But we as a people got to get together. And even for my Caucasian people, no disrespect, but we got to get it together. We got to get the respect we're asking. You know what I'm saying? And we got to give the respect we're asking. So it's a win-win for all of us. So, you know, if you was worried about somebody breaking in your car, we're going to talk to them so they won't. All right? So you want us to get it together, right? So we coming together so we can get it together. That's what it's about, Black Cobb. And if you want to help us to get it together, come on in and come help us get it together. Just as long as you come on a positive note, because we ain't holding no prisoners around here.
Absolutely.
You know, Bishop, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. But I am trying to keep it real. But y'all do come out to the Life Church. It is an amazing, amazing, amazing experience. I'm telling you, I've been in every service, listening to every pastor, and they are on point. I was going to bring a young lady with me Sunday. The word was right for her. When I tell you, if she'd have been sitting there, she'd have been in tears.
Wow.
The word was right for her, but she wouldn't come because she said she was a Catholic.
Wow. Wow.
I said, but the word of God is still the same. You reading this book, it's still going to be the same word coming across. I don't know what they do, Hail Marys and things like I don't know, but I'm just saying. But is the word going to be the same whichever your steps are ordered? Let God order your steps. Let God lead you where you need to be. You know, and if he say go, go. He going to protect you. Are you worried about something? I told this lady Sunday, she said, I ain't parking over there. I said, ma'am, you didn't go to church this morning, did you? She said, what church got to do that? I said, if you're scared, go to church. So I'll see you on Sunday. Because the apartment complex was closed, so you know they ain't towing no cars as long as you don't go on the other side of the gate and you park right in the handicap. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, girl, why we gonna fight for all them parking spaces over there that they running out? Come on over here, I'll show you where the spot is. And the lady's like, I'm scared. I said, you didn't go to church. You know, if you're scared, go to church. If you're mad, go make sure it be on the front row. Because I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got nothing but the antidote. So Bishop, tell them again about your week of services. We got about 7 more minutes.
Yes. So if you're Black and you live in Cobb, you need to be here on this Thursday at the Life Church for the State of Black Cobb. That's 1839 Powder Springs Road, Marietta, Georgia. Again, that's 1839 Powder Springs Road. Thursday night at 7 p.m. is the State of Black Cobb. If you're around on Wednesday night, we have service on Wednesday night and on Friday night that start at 7:30. And on Wednesday night, we have Overseer Stephen Sherrod will be speaking. He is the Cobb County chaplain. He'll be speaking on Wednesday night. And on Friday night, we have the city councilman, Bishop Reginald Copeland, will be here on Friday night. But you definitely want to be here on Thursday. If you're Black, got a pulse, heartbeat, you need to be here Thursday night.
And if you're any other color and you want to come on Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, right here at the Light.
Yeah, and I would say also, this is not just, I got some white brothers and friends of mine that's coming on Thursday that's very conscious to hear what is the State of Black Cobb, because and we need to be able to say there are some folk that are very conscious and understand the injustice and what's going on and what it means. And so if you're conscious and woke, come on Thursday.
That's right. If you're woke. And I've been telling y'all, some of y'all need to wake up because y'all still sleeping. For real. I see the love. I see all the love. I thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You know, it's a live audience. We're looking to be at some other churches. Hey, Vegas, I am on the way. I will see you guys at the end of next month. LA, I talked to you guys today. I'm on my way to the City of Refuge. Florida, Miss Faith, I see you, and I will see you in November. So, guys, if you would like this Antidote show to come to your church or your event, just hit us up. I'll give you my phone number. You never use it. But 678-468-9487. That's 678-468-9487. Or you can email the Antidote Show at Yahoo. Also, please visit my page, the Antidote Behind the Chair.com. It's the Antidote Behind the Chair.com. Scroll all the way down. You're going to see this little description. Just tap your phone on it, and it's going to be a PayPal. Put a little change up in there, all right? Don't make no change. Don't make no sense, right? Okay, so we take donations with the Antidote Show. We don't ask for nothing, really. We really, really don't. Because God has funded us for 10 years, guys. It has been 10 long years with the Antidote Show. I have so many testimonies. I'm telling you, if you don't get these testimonies and they don't bring you out, something wrong. But I know the word said one could put 1,000 to flight, but two could put 2,000, 10,000 to flight. And that's what we're trying to do. Put them to flight. It's not just like the people that's flighting up out of your neighborhood. We talking about the enemy, y'all. So y'all know what I'm talking about. But we would like to build you up, empower you. That's what the Life Church is about. Building you up, empowering you, and inspiring you so you can make it throughout the week. You know, this is a lifestyle. This is not on Sunday, off on Wednesday, off on Thursday, back on Wednesday. Listen, this is a lifestyle.
Amen.
Love is a lifestyle. Christ is a lifestyle. You have to be awake to experience. You cannot be asleep and trying to experience life. You can't even be asleep trying to experience Christ. Okay? Because you're going to miss something because you're not going to be able to see in the spirit. You're going to be looking in a carnal mindset. And some of y'all going to catch that on the ride home. You know, or you might have to ask your pastor, bishop, apostle, evangelist, all them people. Ask them, what am I talking about when I talk about carnal? You know, and a lot of us are carnal minded. We need to wake up and get in the spirit of things. Because remember, I told you guys, God is blasting trumpets. And I know I have a trumpet. He's not an instrument. He's blasting our mouths. And we got to get out here and do what he has called us to do. Because when you get before him, he's going to ask you, did you do what I told you? And if you haven't done what you told him, hey, I can't tell you what's going to happen. All I can say, woo, it's hot in there. All right? So, guys, again, thank you so much for tuning into the Antidote Show. We are live here at the Life Church in Powder Springs, Georgia. Make sure and come out one day this week.
No, Marietta, Georgia on Powder Springs Road.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. It's good to have a man behind you. What's right, what's wrong. But please come out, Powder Springs Road, to the Life Church for Black Power.
1839.
Oh, 1839. 1839 Powder Springs Road. You got it? Okay. Come out. Please come out this week. Come out on Sunday. I love to see you. I'll be here 9 or 11, whichever one Lord say go. That's where I'll be. If you say both, I'll be there too. And I might be at your church to see what you're talking about. Because I'm going to have a new show called Church Hoppers. Because I want to see what y'all doing out here. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to talk about it. But our time is ended. Y'all know I love you guys. Please tune in next week. Same time, same place. 7 o'clock. What we do? 8 o'clock. Tuesday nights at 8. Every Tuesday night at 8. If I'm not here, then that means God took me to Jamaica or somewhere to have a good time. Okay? So all my friends in Jamaica, Hawaii, Vegas, Louisville, Kentucky. I saw you, Bunny Mac. I see you guys. Thank you so much. Germany, United Kingdom, Haiti. I see all you guys. I know church hoppers, it is funny. But I see all you guys, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a great part. And let me tell you, I only got a few seconds left. I've gotten over 2,000 views almost on every show. So to me, that's viral. So anymore, hey, I'm off the rocker. So continue to share with your friends and family this show. Please share this show with your family and friends. Check us out on YouTube as well. I have a lot of shows on YouTube, so check me out. Share this video tonight, guys, because we need it to continue to go viral. I thank you so much. Yes, the Life Church is the place to be. God bless you and good night. Thank you. Thank you for all my audience members. I see you far